In today's videos, I would like to analyze and to answer a simple question, which is scrolling your phone or social media use or whatever other dumb use of our phone we do these days, is that resting? Or can we say I'm resting, that we are resting when we do use our phone in this way? And so it, it came to me, this question, because I was reading a book, The Intellectual Life by Sertil Lange, in which he says dissipation is not rest, it is exhaustion. And so even though like he wrote this, I don't know what was the year, but way before our phone and technology and all that was before all that was a thing, it struck me as if written for us, for today. And so I started to reflect on this mechanism that happened really often since I'm really young, since I own a phone actually, which is especially after a day of a hard day in school, or a session of study, or whatever other, a day of work, or whatever other hard activity that we do in our day life, this mechanism activates itself and said, oh, you deserve some resting, you deserve some downtime, you deserve to do something restful. And the, the immediate reaction to this is pick up your phone. And it is that action of looking, where's my phone? And then you just put yourself on the couch and that's it. And 2 hours later, you are still there, moving your thumb up and down, like, and you wonder what are you doing with your day? And so I, as always, every time I have something to analyze with myself, I wrote like a longhand short essay about it, and I would like to share with you my conclusion, my inquire into the meaning of rest, and if using our phone is restful. It can be considered restful, because if you think about it, there is nothing wrong with it. There is not really. It can be restful. It depends what we mean by restful. So I did my research, and I returned to a beautiful blog post from the one of my favorite online writer, Laurencio, from the blog More to that I will strongly suggest you to check it out, in which he said that basically the rest is when you're not associating your self-worth with what you have to do next. And so we could say that, in his opinion, which is a perfectly reasonable opinion, is that resting is when you are not associating yourself with what you're doing, and so you do the thing for its own sake, kind of. I think he meant that way. Okay, which is great. For example, I can pick up a book and read a fiction book, and my mind will be filled with these images, and I find pleasure in it because the images that the writer is writing about, and I find pleasure in it because it's restful. I'm enjoying, right? So what's the difference between this and a mind a dumb use of our phone. I keep saying it's dumb because a smart use of our phone will be like, I don't know, open up YouTube and watch some cool lecture from Stanford University that you get for free, and go deeper into an argument or a philosophical thing, or whatever interest you have, really. This to me is a smart use of phone. It doesn't mean that phone are altogether a bad thing. However, there is something that doesn't really, like, there is something that I cannot accept, as because there is a big difference between the two, even though they seem similar. When I pick up a book and I read, for the sake of it, I enjoy it in the moment and afterwards. I usually don't regret having spent an hour or two reading a good book, if it's a good book, that is. However, 99% of the time, and actually after I've read the book, I feel relaxed, right? I've actually calmed down my mind from a day of work or busy or whatever, and I feel rested. So mission accomplished, right? Whereas when I use my phone in a dumb way, that is, 99% of the time I regret it, and 100% of the time it makes me feel more tired than before. And here comes the sentence from Certain Lunch, which is, dissipation is not rest, it is exhaustion. So why are we considering scrolling restful if it doesn't rest us? Okay. Because what we crave is not resting, in my opinion, it is dissipation. This is an amazing and so apt word for this kind of situation, because it is so true. Is dissipation what we crave? Is not rest. We crave the distraction. We crave with the minimum effort, the maximum level of distraction. So when you pick up a book and you read, it costs something. It costs attention, it is slow, it costs imagination, it costs the action of reading itself and stick with the text. It costs to, keep your mind from going elsewhere. And so it costs something, but somehow it leaves us relaxed and usually we never and rested, and we never actually regret it. Whereas, like, when we use our phone, it causes nothing, like even no attention, because our attention span is like, I don't know, 1-2 seconds, I guess, right now when you scroll. So it's not even that, and it's all like flashy images. You don't even have to, like, when you scroll. Try this next time you will find yourself scrolling. Try to scroll and then stop for 1 second and say, what was the five scroll ago? What was the video about? You won't remember it, because it's so futile that it doesn't even stick. It's completely pointless, right? However, we keep returning to this story of I deserve to rest, so I will scroll, I will use my phone in a dumb way. And so I really think is dissipation what we crave. And dissipation is, of course, a distraction, is like dissolving, is anesthesia. What we want is not to think for a moment. We don't want to think about anything. We want to distract ourselves. And usually with this, we crave dissipation, usually when we have something we want to escape from. So if there is something that we want to repress, discomfort that we want to repress, there is what is our phone, right? Think about it. Like if you're particularly anxious, stressed, or busy, overwhelmed, or whatever, depressed, or you don't feel really good or whatever, the first thing that you want to do is dissipate, is anesthetize yourself. Don't think, right? It's the same principle for to which like people binge eat food, or use porn as in a compulsive way. Like you just want, with the minimum effort, the maximum level of dopamine that make you feel good in the moment, even though like you will regret it, right? And so, returning to the sentence, dissipation is not rest, is exhaustion. So what we want is not rest, is dissipate. So why it is exhaustion? Is exhausted. Like it doesn't leave us rested, dissipate ourselves, anesthetize ourselves. It leaves us even more tired than before. And I think that is because I did a small research on the word exhaustion, and I figured out that it came from the Latin exhaustus, which means drain off or used up. So while we think that we are not using any energy or any mental space or whatever, and therefore we're resting, the reality is that a dumb use of our phone uses up our mental batteries, if you want. This is not a scientific terms for sure. I don't want to say that, but I'm trying to explain the sensation of like this feeling that you feel like almost headache after hours, and you're like 2 hours went by, what I did with my time, or the horrible experience when like it's daylight and then you bow down to your phone, you start to scroll, and then next thing that you know is dark outside. It's horrible, right? And for sure you know what I'm talking about. And so and then you're exhausted, you're really exhausted, you're used up, you feel like you feel tired, mentally tired. and that's why I think it's tiring to scroll our phone. It's not restful. But why? If we know it's like, if we know it, why we keep doing it? It's like going out on a Saturday night and drink to excess, and then the Sunday morning we swear we won't do it, we won't happen again, knowing deep inside that it will happen again, right? Because the next time we're gonna go out, and a voice in our head will say, "Oh, fuck it, it's the weekend, man. Relax. You should enjoy your life," and so on. And so, and it's the same voice that said, "Oh, you deserve now a little bit of downtime. Why don't you scroll a little bit? You deserve it. Oh, it's restful, and I speak from experience right now. It happened to me all the time. But why? Why? We have to return to the dissipation part to understand why. You and me, we want to dissipate usually when there is something that we want to avoid, which is a discomfort that we said before. But also when another reason could be that we cannot find meaning. So when there is no meaning, which I believe meaning is subjective, is not objective, but anyways, where we cannot find the point, but what we do, we tend to try to dissipate and to anesthetize ourselves. And here comes a beautiful quote, an amazing quote from Viktor Frankl, that said, "When a man can't find a deep sense of meaning, they distract themselves with pleasure." And it is exactly what it is. It's exactly what doom scrolling, binge eating, all porn, or all these highly addictive and dopamine driven phenomenon and actions does. They distract us from the meaningless of something, or the discomfort, or the anxiety, or of our situation, or our reality, of the distract us from the discontent that we have with our life most of the time. But here comes the punchline. It's like, it paradoxically is only by, this is what I found anyway, embracing the discomfort, embracing the apparently meaningless situation we're in, discomfort, anxiety, whatever that is, and really take it in, painfully embrace it, analyze it, stick with it, pick up like a journal and write down why I feel this way. No judgment, just why. And it's so painful. You will feel so much reaction that your hand will almost, shake with the urge of pick up your phone and do something else, whatever, to dissipate, to get out of there, to get out of your mind, right? But I can guarantee you, if it's a discomfort that you want to escape from, stick with it, run towards it, don't run away from it. It won't solve anything. It will just make things worse and worse, and go down in the spiral of meaningless, hollow pleasure. And so it's only with space and embrace the discomfort, that we can gain strength and clarity of mind and begin to do something meaningful. And when you do something meaningful, you don't try to dissipate. It will be stupid for you to dissipate. You like what you're doing. You like the situation you're in, and so you will do something else instead, right? You want to experience where you are. You want to breathe in the moment. And so, yeah, I just hope this short video reflection will find you in the moment that you need. And that's it. Thank you so much for your attention, and see you next week.